Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara. This is the all grip, which means it gets all-wheel drive. But before we start, let me tell you about an amazing fintech platform called PayMe. It's a RBI registered NBFC into digital lending which offers attractive discounts and interest rates with complete digital onboarding and easy repayments. Taking loan from PayMe requires minimum KYC and can be availed without any collaterals. The approval is instant. PayMe is fully compliant with recent RBI digital lending guidelines. Check the link in the description to know more. And back to the vlog. Now you can see the key is similar to other Maruti cars. Unlock the car, lock the car, that's about it. It's quite plain and basic for what is Maruti's flagship car now. Let's straight away open the engine bay, and that is where the difference, there is where the difference is, because this is the K15C engine. Yeah, there's so much space inside that they can probably plonk in a bigger diesel engine, sourcing it from Fiat, a 2-litre multijet. Who knows, who cares, not possible of course, but they have the relationship with them. There's insulation there, engine is quite refined and the car looks very good indeed because the design is quite nice actually. In fact, when compared to the strong hybrid, this is finished in silver. On the strong hybrid, it gets this champagne finish. Front camera here, big Suzuki logo. These are actually the DRLs which also double up as the indicators. The main light is placed right here. There's a skid plate sort of treatment there, of course. And this is actually the longest car in the segment. Yes, 4345 mm long. Wheelbase is 2.6 meters, which is not the longest because the Creta has a wheelbase of 2.61, that is 2610 mm. Squared wheel arches, stolen from Jeep of course. 215/60/17 is the size of the tires, identical to the Brezza. The Brezza is 16 inches, these are 17 inches of course. Got really dirty as such. And you get a camera here, and this is not something which comes with the car, it gets dirty like this. Request sensor is there on both the sides. These don't seem functional. And there is the shark fin antenna as well. If you notice one thing, the roofline is actually sloping, well, for a better appeal at the rear and also from the side. And from the rear, again, these connecting lights look nice, but these are halogens. So not full LEDs there, you can see halogen bulbs used there, but these are of course LEDs. Says Grand Vitara here. Smart hybrid because this is the mild hybrid. All grip for 4-wheel drive system of course. And it looks quite nice from the rear. Faisal Khan's fingers of truth. Hunting for the exhaust, which is actually placed there in the smart hybrid, rather in the intelligent hybrid, the full hybrid thing. Spare wheel is actually placed right here. This is the towing hook, but yes, spare wheel is now placed inside because there is good amount of boot space. I wouldn't say good amount because this is around 355 liters, which is 100 liters more than the strong hybrid because the battery is placed there in the strong hybrid. However, the spare wheel is placed here. It's full size, but it doesn't get an alloy of course. Light placement is here. You get a 12-volt charging socket, some amount of storage space. There is the toolkit, and there's a hook here as well. The parcel shelf is right there. There's a camera here. This guy's got a lot of cameras. Rear wiper, washer, high mounted stop lamp. You get a spoiler as well, which is very subtle as such. Now let's get inside at the rear. Okay, door pockets are decent size. Nice leather treatment with this double stitching as well. But the switchgear is the same as all other Maruti cars. Space inside is actually quite nice. In fact, this seat you can recline 60/40 and then it's upright. You can recline it further. So it has this 2-step adjustment for the seat. Even the Creta has the same, but the Seltos has 3-step, which is quite good. You see, all the seat belts are proper ones. Everybody gets a head. Yes, proper adjustable headrest in this car. Very nice Maruti. And okay, this is actually hooked on right there behind, slotted so it doesn't come out. But I don't think it's a very difficult thing to operate, but I don't think it's going to come out under heavy braking. 2 cup holders right there. Seats are actually comfortable, but they are a little bit on the firmer side. The Seltos has also firm seats, but the Creta has the best seats in the segment and offers more comfort as well, more legroom and all that stuff. 3 people cannot really sit in comfortably because the cabin isn't wide enough, but the Creta leads there. Now you got 2 charging sockets, USB-A and USB-C, some storage space, AC vent placement there, scooped out seat back, not really. Magazine holder here, height adjustable seat belts, light placement here on the top and a handle to hold on to as well. The dashboard design has a lot of things which come from other Maruti cars, so very similar in that regard. Massive panoramic roof, both of these actually open, which is a good thing. And underside support is poor, not only here, it's poor almost everywhere. Headroom isn't that great either. My head almost touches, so the seats are a little on the higher side to accommodate the battery. The design has been done like that. Okay, obviously it doesn't have a battery there. It has a battery here, yes, which means that footroom is a bit of an issue. It says SRS airbag, so this car has obviously got 6 airbags, but you know what, the airbags may or may not work because Maruti has done a recall for the module of the airbag, which turns out to be defective in a lot of Maruti cars. So yes, there is a request sensor here on both the sides, which is nice. Hyundai doesn't give us that. There is an indicator here on the outside rear view mirror. There is no rain sensor, which is quite surprising. A rain sensor is there on the Brezza, I believe. So yes, that's also missing. And this is a real SUV because four-wheel drive, rather all-wheel drive, and 210 mm of ground clearance, which is quite good. Yeah, it's not just all-wheel drive, it has also got good amount of ground clearance, which is a good thing. The thing it misses out on is electric adjust for the driver's seat. Otherwise, it has got almost every other feature. But you know what? When compared to the strong hybrid, it misses out on a heads-up display, seat ventilation, wireless charging pad. So some of those features are vanished. It gets Suzuki Connect, with which you can remotely turn on the car. All these switches are very similar to older Maruti cars. So it's time Maruti invests in making new ones. And you get this illumination for the driver side, which is also one touch down and one touch up as well. Smooth operating power windows. This is obviously to unlock the car, lock the car, child lock, and these are the controls for the outside rear view mirror adjustment. Says Nexa right there. Got a proper dead pedal there. These are the switches to open the fuel lid as well as the hood. And this is for the 360-degree parking camera, hill descent control, headlight leveler, engine start button with this nice chrome around it. Seats are actually quite good, but could be better for sure. Now the thing is that there is evident cost cutting in certain places. Let me just shut the indicator. The glove box is decent size, not very big as such, and then you've got a lot of hard plastics, but you've got this nice leather panel right there. This is extremely cheap. It's very thin, it lets in light, it lets in heat as well, and then look at it, it's so freaking flimsy. So yes, they have done cost cutting there. Now this is a nice touch. You get a mirror and light. Same is the case here as well, mirror and a light. This is auto dimming, of course, and I'm just going to play some audio right now. Some stupid radio is playing right now. There's a sunglass holder here, light placement here on the top, and let's open the sunroof. So if you notice one thing, this thing opens, okay? This thing also goes inside. So yes, both of them function to open this massively big. Yeah, this is huge. It opens even further. Oh my god, look at the size of this. It's like super duper long. Well, that's what she said. Impressive, really impressive that both the panels actually move, both the glass panels move here for the sunroof. Very nice, but they could have given a better sunblind here for sure. Now there's the handbrake, twin cup holders, and chin to minto storage space below the center armrest. And this also slides ahead and behind. This is actually the four-wheel drive selector. There's some storage space here. There's a 12-volt charging socket right there, USB-A charging socket, traction control button. This is for the auto stop start system. Air conditioning is actually a chiller, climate control air conditioning, of course. And this is for the hazard light. This is actually a 9-inch screen, which is actually very good. Okay, I'm going to show you the camera right away. So there the camera does this spinning bit. The Creta and the Seltos get a bigger 10.25-inch unit. This one gets Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, both of which are actually wireless. So again, a nice touch. And then I can actually see another view for this camera, which does this whole spinning thing all the time. Quite cool, right? So yes, in terms of features, they've got us almost everything. Nothing is lacking on that front. But let me actually get into reverse. So this is the reverse parking camera, and then I have got multiple views for this, which is quite cool too. Yes, I have this side camera as well. That's also kind of nice. Otherwise, it's kind of similar. It says 6.3 kilometers per liter as the fuel efficiency, which is quite less, and then you can actually move things around like that. Now the cluster is different here. The strong hybrid actually gets a fully digital cluster. This is an analog unit, both the tachometer as well as the speedometer, and then I can browse through a lot of information. Yes, it's got plenty of things to show, including a motion sensor, power and torque meter as well, and then we've got this acceleration and braking thingy. And it also shows you how the mild hybrid system is working, which they call the smart hybrid. Cruise control system here. These are controls for the audio system and for phone calls as well. No flat bottom steering wheel horn. Okay types. Automatic headlights, no automatic wipers. Wipers work really nice. Lot of spray on offer. Yeah, there is plenty of spray on offer. And then in order to use the rear wipers, I can just, yeah, do it that way. There you see sprays coming out. That's quite nice. So overall, quite a feature loaded car, but some of the features have left the chat right now because obviously they are reserved for the strong hybrid, which is like 3 lakhs more expensive than this car. Anyways, let's do one thing. Let's start driving. Before that, let me shut the car, and when I shut this, and let me just open the door, it shows me the overall summary. Yeah, it was showing me the summary of, okay, it's telling me various data there, which is kind of cool. In fact, it shows me exactly which door is also open, and when I turn on the car now, it will also tell me good morning and all that. So there the Suzuki logo will come right now. It's sleeping at the moment. It's taking some time, but there it is. It's finally come. Come on, say something, say something.
Good afternoon.
Audio quality is decent. It does this whole spinning bit every time you turn on the car. But the thing is that everything is so much similar to other Maruti cars. We're just going to shut it. Let me get out of it. And when I shut the car, listen to this, okay? Yeah, the same sound which you get in all other Maruti cars. Being a premium product, they could have differentiated a bit. But then, you know what? In order to get this attractive price, they had to do this. Let's start driving. Alright, we're all set to go, which means stop start system off, traction control off as well. You have to keep it pressed for around 3-4 seconds and there it turns off. I'm actually going to change this to get to the power and torque graphic, which is right here, and I'm going to turn this on. You get a lot of information here. There's ambient lighting as well, alerts and whatnot. So we're just going to turn this on. It says 6.4 kilometers per liter right now. Handbrake down. We are also going to get it into sport mode for the all-wheel drive system, of course, into first gear, revving the motor. Hazard lights off. Little bit of wheel spin. If you notice, the red line comes in slightly above 6000 RPM, 6300 RPM or something of that sort. So it doesn't redline very high as such, which is very un-Japanese of it. And the gearing is really tall. In fact, it reaches 100 in third gear. So yes, very tall gearing. Not the tallest though, but still on the taller side. The gearbox is slick shifting. The clutch is on the lighter side, but this is a 5-speed gearbox, not a 6-speed unit. Now this is the 1.5 liter 4-cylinder engine known as the K15C. It is a dual jet engine which is tuned completely for efficiency, and that's the reason performance is very lackluster. On part throttle, performance is fine, but when you ring open the throttle, you realize there is no grunt lower down, and then it's around past 4000 RPM where it starts to pull with a little bit more enthusiasm, because peak torque comes in at 4400 RPM. Yes, that 137 Newton meters of torque comes in at a very high 4400 RPM, which is kind of on the later side. Where I've come into fifth gear. Now the engine actually feels very smooth and refined. You can't hear much of the engine, especially at lower revs. You cannot feel it, but once you get into higher end of the rev range, it becomes vocal. You can hear a lot of the engine noise, you can hear a lot of the road noise, you can hear a lot of the wind noise. So insulation levels could be better. Now I'm going to compare it with the strong hybrid, which Maruti likes to call as the intelligent electric hybrid, and this is known as the smart hybrid, which is basically the mini micro hybrid which just has a 48 volt, which assists with torque assist and then regenerative braking probably. That's about it, nothing else, and stop start system too. But the strong hybrid is the real hybrid, which produces 116 horsepower. This one produces 103 horsepower. 103 horsepower is very less, to be honest. It is so less that Maruti's upcoming Fronx produces 100 horsepower with an engine which is 500cc smaller. In fact, this engine is 50% bigger in terms of cubic capacity when compared to the Fronx is, what am I saying? How do I want to put it across? Basically, I'm saying when you factor in the Fronx, this car has a 50% bigger engine when compared to the Fronx, because that's a 1 liter booster jet with turbocharging, of course, and then with turbo, you get more performance, right? So Maruti needs to get a turbo petrol engine, because Maruti makes one of the best small capacity engines. This 1.5 liter engine is a bit disappointing. Not a bit, it's quite a bit disappointing. Doesn't have any drive modes, it doesn't have the performance. It feels very lackluster, it feels very slow. In fact, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, hold your breath, it takes 14 freaking seconds, which is insane, and that is 2.5 seconds slower when compared to the strong hybrid. That's very slow. In fact, it's a full 5 seconds slower than the turbo petrol Koreans. So yes, it's a very slow car in terms of outright performance, but in-gear acceleration is fine. I would not complain there. I would not even complain in terms of city driving. In city driving also it's fine. It's just that when you want performance out of the highway, it just doesn't cut it. So you're going to apply brakes. So you can see the braking performance. Yeah, not the best. My phone flew somewhere, but anyways, into first gear, revving the motor. Little bit of wheel spin. First gear almost 50. In second gear, it will do 90 kilometers per hour. And there we have hit the red line. In third gear, this car will go past 120 kilometers per hour without much fuss. In fact, top speed is 170 kilometers per hour. Coming around the corner, I realized, my goodness, this car is very capable, but the engine is the big letdown here. So the strong hybrid produces 116 horsepower. This produces 103 horsepower. The strong hybrid produces 141 Newton meters of torque. This one produces 137 Newton meters of torque. So 4 Newton meters of torque, but there's a big difference because that obviously has electric assist, a proper hybrid, and that's the reason it has at 0 RPM it has got instant torque, and obviously feels much better to drive as well. So in terms of performance, this engine just doesn't cut it. And with the all-wheel drive, obviously it becomes slower, because with all-wheel drive there's an additional weight of 110 kgs here, and the strong hybrid obviously is heavier by around 35 kgs when compared to the all-wheel drive, or around 140 kgs when compared to the non-all-wheel drive, or rather the front-wheel drive version of the K15C engine, which also powers the Brezza. But the Brezza is a lot lighter, and the Brezza obviously sub 4 meter. This is almost, I mean, it is more than 4.3 meters, so it's heavier as well. So few things you need to factor in right here, and I'm waiting for the Maruti version of the Fortuner to come as well. Just kidding. And here we go. Grip levels are fantastic. Obviously it has to be, because all-wheel drive system, Suzuki's all grip, which has got like 4 modes. You can lock power delivery to be 50-50 on each axle as well. And then there's a snow mode, there's a sport mode, which we're driving in right now, which is a little bit more sporty in terms of the way power is delivered, and obviously lets the traction control a bit loose as well. And that's not all, it has also got an auto mode, which will automatically decide how it wants to channel the power to the front and the rear axle. But obviously it is more front biased power delivery. But it has got departure angle, which is good. It has a good departure as well as approach angle, and a good ground clearance of 210 mm, which means it's decently capable of the road. And it is a real SUV because it's got all-wheel drive, and more cars should get the option of all-wheel drive, and let the customers decide. With a strong hybrid, this particular car with all-wheel drive would be absolutely phenomenal, because the strong hybrid obviously has much better performance when compared to this car. And not only is it faster, it's more efficient. In fact, fuel efficiency is almost double in the strong hybrid in the city when compared to this car, because this will return around 11 to 12 kilometers per liter. The strong hybrid is like doing almost 60 to 70% of the driving in the city on electric motor alone, which means that it is super efficient, can return almost 20 to 25 kilometers per liter fuel efficiency, which is absolutely phenomenal. But out on the highway, that reduces the gap, because this one will return around 15 to 16 kilometers per liter. That one, the strong hybrid, will return around 18 to 19 kilometers per liter, because there the engine has to work. This is more refined when compared to the strong hybrid, because it's a 4-cylinder unit. The strong hybrid is a 3-cylinder engine. Now this is a complete 100% Maruti car, because the all grip system comes from Maruti, of course, and so does the engine. The K15C is Maruti's engine with dual jet, and performance is something which is disappointing me, but I'm very happy with the ride and handling balance of this car. They've got the suspension tuning absolutely spot on, which means that there is a suppleness to the ride. It does great over bad roads. It has good handling. Body roll is very well contained. The steering is also quite direct and nice. It's not the typical Maruti steering which does not center. This one actually has some amount of feel and feedback as well. It does weigh up. Obviously it's not an enthusiast car, but still quite a nice steering wheel. So in certain areas this car does excel, and that is in terms of the chassis. The Suzuki C platform is fantastic. It deserves a better engine for sure. It needs a turbocharged engine, and like I'm saying, the performance is quite bad here. It's even worse with the automatic, which uses a 6-speed torque converter unit. It obviously has paddle shifters, but that's not going to help really, because the gear shifts are really very slow there. And then just imagine what will be the CNG, because with CNG performance is even duller. So Maruti Suzuki makes one of the best small capacity engines, but somehow with this 1.5 liter engine they are faltering big time, because they're so tuned and aimed towards efficiency now. They are okay, I'm not talking to you. I take the word Suzuki. This lady gets up and starts talking to me. Stop it! I don't want to talk to you. Leave. Yeah, so that's kind of weird. Anyways, high speed stability is also nice. I think top speed would be around 170-180 kilometers per hour, which is also respectable. And because of this all grip system, it feels a little better through the corners. Tires don't screech. Traction is very nice here, but then the engine doesn't overwhelm anything, because there's not much performance on offer as such. Brakes are fine. It gets rear disc as well. Braking performance could be better though, but I would say braking performance is decent, and it's actually an engaging car to drive. Only thing is the performance just disappoints you all the given time, and that's something which actually makes me feel sad, because I feel this car deserves a way better engine. It deserves more performance, because it can deliver all that performance out on the road quite well, thanks to the brilliant chassis, the brilliant ride and handling balance as well, good high speed stability, a good steering wheel as well, decent brakes, and good amount of grip too. But thankfully Maruti Suzuki is giving something which no one else is giving in the segment, which is all-wheel drive system. Yes, this all grip is really very nice. Obviously it's not going to take you to hardcore off-roading situations, but you're not going to get stuck in this car, because it will be able to get you out of most tricky situations, if not all. Now here we are going to come to a halt, which means hazard lights on, and I'm going to get it into the first gear, hard into the brakes, little bit of engine braking. Yeah, okay, into first gear, hazard lights off. So the Grand Vitara is available in 17 variants, 2 of them are for CNG, and then obviously Maruti lists the dual tone colors separately. Toyota does not do that. Toyota does not offer CNG yet, which means that the Hyryder is available in 11 variants, and the price starts at 12.28 lakhs for the base variant, going all the way to 23 lakhs for the top end strong hybrid. Meanwhile, the Hyryder actually starts around 20,000 rupees more, but the top end Hyryder is 47,000 cheaper. Why is there this up and down in terms of pricing? Well, very simple. Where it's Maruti's engine, Maruti's car is cheaper. Where it's Toyota's engine, well, Toyota's car is cheaper. So if you're going to buy a non-hybrid or mild hybrid or smart hybrid, then the Maruti car will obviously be on the more attractive price point, because that's how they have decided to price the cars. The thing is, this variant is priced at rupees 20 lakhs on road Mumbai, which is the exact same price as the front wheel drive but with automatic. So basically, the price of this all wheel drive and the price of the car with the same engine but with front wheel drive instead of all wheel drive but automatic instead of manual is the same at 20 lakh rupees on road Mumbai, which means that for all wheel drive or for automatic you're paying a premium of 1.74 lakhs, but if you opt for the Hyryder with all wheel drive you have to pay 43,000 more. So why would you do that? You would just get the Grand Vitara, right? But with Toyota you get a better warranty, 1 lakh kilometer warranty with 3 years or 1 lakh kilometer, whichever is earlier. With Maruti you get a 2-year 40,000 kilometer warranty, which can be extended 80,000 kilometers. In the case of Toyota, it can be extended to 2.2 lakh kilometers or 5 years. So yes, Toyota offers the better warranty without a freaking doubt. Now, for dual tone colors, you pay 19,000 rupees more. So yes, there's a lot of confusion in terms of variants, because Maruti Suzuki offers the Grand Vitara with a 1.5 liter engine. That's fine. Both are 1.5 actually, 3 and 4 cylinder, but the smart hybrid, or rather the mild hybrid, is available with a manual gearbox or an automatic gearbox or all-wheel drive with a manual gearbox or with CNG as well. And then of course we've got the strong hybrid, which is available with an automatic, which happens to be an eCVT. So plenty of various variants here to create confusion. I would say the strong hybrid is the one to buy. You pay 3 lakhs more for it, but you get slightly more features, you get better performance, you get better efficiency as well, but you pay a little bit more money, of course, which is completely worth it. You get the Toyota Hyryder with the strong hybrid, you're ending up paying 22.5 lakh rupees. Meanwhile, for the Suzuki, you pay 23 lakh rupees. So why are you paying that premium? Because Toyota is going to take some license fees now for lending their engine to Maruti Suzuki, of course. So as I see it, it all depends on whose dealership network is closer to you, whether you should get the Hyryder or the Grand Vitara. And as I see it, this car is quite nice. Only thing is, it could have done with a better engine. Yes, more performance wouldn't hurt anyone. It's the least powerful engine in the whole segment. In fact, if you compare this car to the Skoda Kushaq or the Volkswagen Taycan, their 1 liter engine also makes 115 horsepower. Their 1.5 liter strong hybrid engine is making 115 horsepower, which just shows the level of output or performance, which is not the focus here at all for either Toyota or for Suzuki. In fact, this car is 100% Suzuki unless and until we get the strong hybrid into the picture, because that 1.5 liter engine with the Atkinson cycle comes from Toyota, of course. In fact, Toyota is manufacturing this car, but Suzuki suppliers are giving all the parts for the same. So what do you think? This is more Suzuki or more Toyota? But no matter what it is, whether it's a Suzuki or a Toyota, build quality could be a lot better. I can hear some vibrations from the rear. Something is vibrating. There are some rattles on a car which is relatively brand new. So yes, certain things could be better in terms of overall quality, because it doesn't feel like a Toyota in any way. It does not feel like one. It feels definitely more like a Suzuki, and that's one of the reasons why I would prefer to buy a Maruti Suzuki version, because at least I'll not be disappointed that, look, I'm sitting in a Toyota, but you know what, it's a Maruti at the end of the day. Here I have to be in first to make a quick overtake, otherwise this car just doesn't let you fly by so fast. Horn could be a little bit more effective. If you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's the like button. Also subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out the app Pay Me. Click on the top right of the screen to go to the website, and bye bye.